All right. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the August 7th Stormwater Task Force meeting. We are coming to you from 520 Chase Road, the Lunenburg DPW. If you're a member of the public and you would like to be involved, you can come here or be involved on our Zoom meeting. From there, let's go ahead and get started. I see we have somebody in, but I can't read the name. So we'll start by taking any comments from the public. Was I hearing right a moment ago the person who emailed us wasn't able to make it again?
Right.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We will talk to them when they are available. As far as I'm aware, no new announcements. So we will move on to board discussion. We received an email from Nick outlining some of the answers to the questions we posited. We can go over those or all right, I was trying to figure out who did we have that might be joining us. I don't seem to have it in my email.
Hi, this is Sarah DeWall from Comprehensive Environmental. I'm here to talk about the stormwater utility fee in place of Nick Christofori today.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
All right.
You stuck in.
Where do we want to get started with this? What do everybody have? Could we just go through the email response we got?
Yeah, maybe, and then then Sarah doesn't have to hang on.
Sure. All right. All right, let me go to where I have the questions written down because we have the answers here. I just don't remember how to make sense of them.
Do you have the questions that you sent?
Yeah. Um, all right, well, we'll start here. The first item I have on my list was about missing properties. We saw a difference between two, the most recent information we were given, which had 17 large area properties, and previous data that told us 21. So we were just trying to figure out if there was some kind of where that information may have changed, why we were getting these different answers.
Yes. So I believe that was because there were some of those properties that weren't actually subject to the ERU fee. So I forget the properties off the top of my head. I did see the email Nick had sent, so I'm just trying to pull it up as well, just to see if we can clarify which properties those were. So just to back up a second, I just want to clarify where we're getting this data and kind of how we're coming up with all of these parcels and the impervious area and so forth. So we actually just this week updated the parcel data. So the Mass GIS in the town has the 2025 updated parcel data. So we kind of started from scratch a little bit, went back to the beginning to get the most recent information that we can. However, this is where there's the big caveat to all of this, is that the impervious area information comes from Mass GIS and it's from 2016.
Mm.
We have no other way of getting more recent data without manually trying to calculate the impervious area for every parcel.
Okay.
So
So, sorry, Sarah, can I repeat back to you just to make sure I heard you because I was writing and listening at the same time?
sure.
So the Mass GIS map has for parcels has just been updated for 2025. Is that correct? But that does
Yes,
not include an update to the impervious area for the,
that's correct.
And that 2016 one is the
Yeah.
Bill, I believe you also came across that a
that
couple
was
weeks back.
2005
That
though,
was
then. It was
2005.
even older,
Oh,
right?
okay. Okay.
I think so.
Is that normal to have such a lag in the update of impervious area?
So typically I don't handle GIS work. But I was just talking with my colleague yesterday who does GIS regularly, and he was having this conversation actually with Nick, saying that this is a statewide issue. The impervious area for the entire state has not been updated since 2016. I think the data was collected in 2016 and it came out in 2017. But regardless, it's almost 10 years old at this point, so there are a lot of data gaps.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
No timeline for when the state might update that?
Yeah. So I think
unfortunately, no. I was asking him, and he's like, it's completely out of our hands. And like I said, I mean, we can, which what we did for three of the properties that you had pointed out, those three large properties, one on Leominster Shirley Road, and then I think one was on Mass Ave and another on
Yep.
Electric Ave. Those
Yep.
ones we were able to go into GIS and manually try to calculate them. So it was able to do those, but really the only way of doing that is if it's pointed out to us specifically that there have been large developments and changes in an impervious area. So it's as as kind of unfortunate as that is, that's the best workaround that we have the capabilities of doing. Mass DEP has the technology to do the satellite imagery and do calculations that way, but I have no idea when they plan to make any updates.
does this mean that basically any construction that has happened in this town since 2016 needs to be done by hand? Like to calculate its impervious area?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything
Like
that's not a
it,
single family home,
Yeah, well, yeah.
because we're lumping
Yeah.
that. So
yeah, well, I
Um,
actually will point that out. So looking at some of the residential properties, there were a lot that were identified as having zero impervious area, but you look at them and it's a single family home. There's a home that was built in 2020 and it clearly has impervious area, but it's still listed in the database as zero square feet or acres of impervious area. And like, so that's something else I wanted to bring up today in terms of specifically residential properties versus any other commercial, industrial, et cetera properties. So to me, I don't want to get off track, but just to kind of stay
well,
on this.
that's a big that's a derailment. I mean, that's huge, 10-year gap in data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think for single family homes with the code 1010, they go into what is it, tier
Yeah.
one? I mean,
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah.
We can just deal with that. I
Yeah.
don't care what the database says because it's out of date, but
Yeah.
do we know is this, I don't know if you have the spreadsheet we have, is there a way of finding out what parcels have been entered since 2016? Is
Um,
there
I would have to ask a GIS specialist. I don't know how that works exactly. So I can touch base with him on that and see if there's any workaround. But
I mean, how much of an issue is it? If we could identify then the parcels that went into the database since 2016, get their code, well, eliminate all the single family, and what are we left with?
mhm. um, yeah, I'll I'll ask him how we can
That's
do that. Yeah,
oh,
that- Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we we knew this data was old, but we didn't, I guess we hadn't realized quite how old it was at this point. And like I said, unfortunately, like our hands are kind of tied. We don't really have a good workaround unless, like I said, doing it manually.
So I wonder if the building commissioner or the assessor's office can give us a list of anything newly built from 2016 forward.
I mean, I'm looking at the spreadsheet and I don't see anything that looks like a date. I mean, I think that, oh, wait, fiscal year. No, they're all 2020. What does this have filters? Yeah, they're all 2024.
Bill,
The
who did you
assessor.
suggest might have that information?
The building commissioner
Okay,
or the assessor's
I
office.
think the assessor's office is probably because I'll get a tax bill.
oh,
The
right,
first time they hit the books
Right. They
and
can't
have
do
us
GIS.
occupancy and all of that. So if we can ask
Mhm.
Linda
Yeah.
McQuaid. And then that'll tell us, so if we can get the list of parcels, their code. And address the information to identify the parcel. We will know how much of a problem this is. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
It does.
I see what you're saying. I do want to point out that it's probably a couple hundred parcels at least that have a change. Let me sorry, I shouldn't say that. Not that have been completely newly developed and are new taxpayers, but in terms of any changes in development and increase in impervious area, based on what I've been looking at, it's probably hundreds of parcels.
Even taking out all of the single family and probably multifamily
Um,
homes.
that's a good that's a good question. It was
We
um
don't have 200 new businesses in town, I can
No.
tell you that.
yeah, so yeah, you're right. So there are about 500, let me just pull up my spreadsheet. There are about 543 parcels which I've identified that would be subject to paying an ERU based fee. So that's the non-residential, non-town owned, and anything with noted impervious area. So that obviously can change if we find more parcels that previously had no impervious area and now are found to have some. And then again, those 500 some odd parcels could have changes in impervious area that we don't have a great way of figuring out.
That was 540, how
Three.
many? Three. So what
Yep.
would cause a change in impervious area?
Any form of development really that would be any improvements, building improvements, any additional parking, driveways, um, any sort of structure whatsoever.
Right,
Uh,
but again, taking the residential properties out. Somebody puts a shed up. I mean, we're not going to that level of detail. It's
yeah,
really
the
if somebody put a parking lot in, the storage, the warehouse completed. Um,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. So when I should probably kind of go back on what I said before that it could potentially be hundreds of parcels that have changed. I mean, yes, they've probably have changed, but to what extent is it worth really being nitpicky over? I don't know how many we would need to.
Probably
I
mostly single family
that's what I'm
homes.
thinking. Single family homes, maybe some multifamily. It's all I'm thinking it's majority residential. At least that's my hope. So the numbers we have in this report that we got back in March is not correct.
So no,
As-
they've been updated. They've been updated with the new parcel information. They're similar, but we have new information and also just in conversations that we've had, I've kind of changed the way that we're looking at who should pay and um to what extent. So again,
But
the numbers
yeah,
that I have, what's that?
the counts in this report have changed. This report from March does not include this update, is how I'm
No,
hearing it.
that's correct. Yeah, that update, the update I'm talking about was done this week because that's when
Okay.
we got the notice to proceed. So that's when we got back into it and had pulled. I'm not sure what month of this year that the 2025 data parcel data was completed, but I don't think it was before we sent you that memo.
Okay. So I don't know, what do you got? Can we do anything until we have the correct data?
Um,
I mean, the numbers are gonna move a little bit.
so like single family on the chart, like single family, multifamily, that's probably all fine because that would have been pulled from GIS, which is like not calculating impervious area.
Yeah.
And we're not worried about, yes.
Sorry, not to cut you off. I will say, so the original memo, we excluded anything that was identified as residential, but without any impervious area. In the new information that I've done, I've included anything that's residential as paying respectively as a single family or a multifamily. So
Okay.
there will be a change in numbers in that regard, which does wind up being about, I think, 100 properties.
Okay.
Is there, I don't know. Is it possible for a residential to have no impervious area?
So this is kind of goes back to what I was saying before from things that were zoned or parcels that were identified as residential, even prior to the 2016 or now, but were, individual parcels, but weren't developed until after 2016. There are ones that
Oh,
say zero impervious area. I spot checked these. I looked at, a dozen or so of them. Most of them are clearly have been they're new builds since 2016. There was like one or two that was built in 1980 that must have just been missed, frankly. And then there might be one or two that technically still don't have any um impervious area, but the large majority is new construction.
so maybe if it's zone residential,
Hmm.
but if the house hasn't been built yet, fine,
Yeah.
there's no, once you have a house, I mean, how can you not have it, right?
Yeah, right.
So maybe we can match up that with a certificate of occupancy, kind of cross-reference to make sure we've got,
Is there anything on GIS that would be marked 1010 but not have a house on it?
It's possible.
Okay, because I was gonna
if
say
it's
like,
not built yet, I have a feeling.
yeah, all right.
I'm not sure. There's gotta be a way to cross-check though.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I am taking so far is the chart that we have been given is
We're starting with them.
less is less than we're actually going to see. There's going to be more residential properties. There's going to be more commercial properties with larger ERUs. So
Yeah. I can actually, if I can share my screen, I can show you what I've kind of come up with to this point. Um, I'm not sure. Do I have sharing abilities? Let's see.
I think you do now.
All right, yes, it looks like I do. Let me just make sure I pull up the right. Oh, where'd it go?
But it's crossing.
Yep, here we go. Okay, so there's something else, another kind of large update. Sorry, again, not to kind of derail us, but there were multiple properties that were identified as tax exempt or residential single family that were kind of going under the radar a bit, and they're large condo complexes. So those have all been, I've changed them in our spreadsheet to be commercial, other than this one Lakefront Ave, because that's just a couple townhomes. So I don't think we need to zone that, or sorry, not zone, but identify that as a commercial. But anyway, so this kind of changes, this kind of bumps up the revenue a little bit. Another thing was, as I had mentioned before, these three properties that you did point out to us originally had very minimal impervious area, and now we've identified that like the 475 Leominster Shirley has over 19 acres of impervious area. So I've added that. So that's kind of bumped it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, does someone have a question?
I'm just looking at 19 acres, which is hard. You know, can I make a request? That when we talk about impervious area, we either stick to square feet or acres. I feel like I don't.
Sure. Yeah.
The sheet I have has square feet.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, our spreadsheet has both. Let me just look at the
Or if it
spreadsheet.
has both, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, but you just said 19 acres for that Leominster Shirley?
That is
How many?
over 800,000
Yeah,
square
that's
feet.
nuts. That's way
Yeah.
off this.
Well,
This goes to what, 210?
210.
Yeah.
Is the 210 just for the building? Because this includes, there's a large parking area and driveways and everything on this parcel.
I don't know what this is for tier 10. It doesn't say what the property is. It's just tier 10. I don't know if you have this.
Table 3.3.
3.3, yeah, table 3.3. I don't know if you have the same document.
Mhm.
There's 5 properties in tier 10 based on this report, but
What does that put this thing like tier 20 or something?
well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why
so
we were trying to tease not have such a huge gap
Yeah.
between parcels that are in the same tier.
Right.
yeah. So what I've kind of reworked, so let me just show you this next slide. What I've kind of reworked is the tier
Could you zoom in just slightly, please?
ranges. What's that?
Could you zoom in a little bit, please?
Sort of thing.
Or go to slideshow mode. That'll make it bigger, above full screen.
I don't want to
We're
start.
looking at a little TV.
Oh, sorry. Which way?
That's fine.
Okay. Is that better?
Oh, yes.
Yes, much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. So in order to kind of help bump up the revenue from this, we've expanded the ERU ranges. So we're starting to bump up from an earlier tier. And then continuing to expand more quickly than we did in the previous strategy. So this shows tier 1 will still be 1 ERU. They'll have to pay $60 if they fall between 0 to 1 equivalent residential unit. And then tier 2 is the same thing, between 1 and 2. Tier 3 will be, as it shows, 3 to 5, and then we're going up to 10, which will be 200 plus. And there's only one property that falls under this category right now, but there are a few more that fall between 100 and 199, and same thing with those in between tiers. So, and then all of these tiers are going to get feed based on the highest ERU of that range. So that's what the ERU fee basis column is showing.
So somebody with, say, 100 ERUs is paying the same as somebody with 199 ERUs.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's a huge range, of course, but in order to keep it kind of manageable within 10 tiers. I mean, we can expand tiers. We can, of course, add tiers if you'd like to do that. But trying to keep the lower ones in a somewhat reasonable range, and then the higher ones that are likely going to be large commercial industrial properties anyway, kind of bump them up much quicker.
Well, Sarah, one ERU is 4,200 square feet?
That's yes.
Okay.
So Sarah, the number of properties in the original memo was 4,800.
Yeah.
There's no way this adds up to 4,800.
No, sorry, this doesn't include any residential properties. This doesn't include residential properties. It doesn't include town-owned, anything that has no impervious area. And there's also some like right-of-ways, forest, and water that were excluded.
Okay. But so we have, okay, on the silver lining side is we have more properties,
Yes, which means more revenue.
but I'm viewing it as we have a target number to hit.
Yeah.
We have more properties to spread the pain.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean we keep the rate and
Yeah.
just get more revenue.
It means
I wanna-
we
I want to work backward.
$60 tiers much
Maybe.
easier than looking at the
Yeah.
$100 tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to work backwards from your budget and how do we get there based on the
Okay.
properties, but I don't want to think too hard about tiers and properties and fees
Sure.
until we have all the properties worked out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because now,
What is the budget we're looking at?
What did we have? Wait, pull it up.
Yeah.
and based on the questions and comments and feedback that I'm getting, just randomly,
Yep.
they're gonna look at your budget a lot and they're gonna wanna know,
Yeah.
why isn't this coming out of chapter 90, especially since we just got a big bump this year in chapter 90.
Well, yeah. Chapter 90 can't do everything we need to do.
Well, and it's not guaranteed year over year,
So I
but,
can get my,
um,
I thought it was escape. Well, there it is. I hit it a few times, didn't want to work. Budget ideas, right? Well, minus the chapter 90, I threw in there, well, say $550,000.
Okay.
that sounds low.
It does sound low.
I thought it was like 1 million.
Yeah, right,
Wait,
here it is, here it is. Yeah.
So I will say this.
Fine. Well, say 750,000. Because some of it's kind of a one-time, oh, here it is, 873. Not including the one-time purchases.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
So 873 is
Yeah.
estimated operative. Okay.
yeah, that's,
Okay, that's what you're looking to get out of this
yeah,
fee. Okay. All right. So this is kind of what I just pulled up the next slide that I made, and this is kind of where we're at with the $60 ERU structure based on the most current information. So there are a few different ways to go about this in order to bump that. One would be to increase the ERU fee, which I understand that you want to keep it relatively low for residential properties. The other thing is to create a flat fee schedule entirely. So take the tier system effectively, keep it in a very similar manner, but instead of keeping with the $60 ERU schedule, each tier will just have kind of an arbitrary fee for that tier. And it doesn't have to be associated with the $60 necessarily, but it'll have to be based on what you all think it kind of makes the most sense, and then how we can get to that 873.
How is that different than just, I'm confused by the flat fee. How that's different from just setting a price per tier? Every tier pays the same?
No, so I'm saying, excuse me, sorry, I'm saying kind of the opposite. So the tiers right now, tiers are obviously charged by the top of that range tier times $60 is what everyone within that tier is going to have to pay.
Oh.
If we do a flat fee schedule, then we can just say, okay, actually tier 1, you're going to pay $100. Tier 2, you're going to pay 125. Tier 3, you're going to pay 200. And so forth and so on, and just create, like, if you fall within this tier, which can still be calculated, like we can still calculate the properties using the ERU in their impervious area and keep properties categorized like that, but not actually have it as technically an ERU based fee of $60.
That's kind of what we were talking about before, you know, with the different alternatives to the fees, like weighting the larger, the higher tiers a little bit more.
Yeah.
Instead of just, okay.
So which the ERU attempts to do. It does weight things higher based on the impervious area, but it's still obviously not, if you're trying to keep the residential fee low, then we can't use a respective ERU for the other properties that we're gonna charge.
I mean, I think there's a balance, right? You don't want to be particularly hard on any one tier, but that's I think the tricky part of this is finding that balance.
Yeah. So the other thing that I just want to keep in mind is, because obviously we could play with these tier ranges, the ERU ranges, and be like, actually tier 1 is anywhere from 1 to 10. But then you get into the kind of unfairness of, you know, someone only has actually half of an ERU technically, but they're still going to be having to pay 10. So is that kind of, so I'm just trying to, you know, I tried to up this to help with the revenue, but if we bump it too much more, it's going to be kind of unequal. So that's why maybe it's best if we get away from the ERU, but keep the tier schedule and just say, okay, tier 5, it's that same ERU range of 10 to 14, but actually they're going to pay $1,000.
So I got a thought on my budget that I put together, right? So we're saying it's 873 minus the one-time purchases, right?
Yeah.
But I got $300,000 to do projects. We take that out, we're at pretty much, we're at the 550 or so.
Well,
So those big
how these
projects
gonna get done?
Well, chapter 90 funds or capital funds.
$300,000 a year for projects. What do you spend
It's
now?
pretty ambitious, yeah, but it's ambitious because I don't have time to put it all together. But with more staff, I could.
What do you spend now on projects that would be covered by this?
Yeah. Probably less than 100,000.
But that's staff limited,
Right.
more so that, I mean, staff and money limited, but
Right.
probably, okay.
Yeah. And $60 is gonna be an easier sell than anything higher, right?
Yeah.
And it starts us off small. Perhaps in the future we can grow.
So then what's the money being used for?
Mostly
Staff.
keep up, well, staff and to keep up with the MS4 permitting requirements, right? So I have catch basin cleaning and sweeping.
Yep.
right, and then I'll have a dedicated staff to handle stormwater related issues.
I mean, $10,000 for the indirect costs. That sounds high, but
I kind of base it off of what the sewer enterprise does.
okay.
Yeah.
Is there any savings we can consolidate? Anything? As far as the indirect cost accounting, all that kind of stuff.
And
No.
it's no, it's peanuts, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking for peanuts.
Mm,
And that's taking the equipment off too, right?
yeah, right. One-time purchase. Yeah.
I guess the risk of, if you take the project money out, the risk is nobody knows. Chapter 90, we didn't expect to get a big bump this year. Doesn't mean we're gonna get,
Right, maybe at one time.
right.
I mean, it has been going up a little bit, but who knows?
I don't, I think, I don't know. My way I feel now is I think we need to get the parcels cleaned up, know how many we have, what the impervious area is, what the tiers look like, and then look at fee structure based on your budget.
I think I agree. I think we need where our data is coming from. We need all of that before we can start assigning monetary values to it. Yeah.
I don't want to collect more than we need. And if it goes out to property tax and there's all these properties we didn't know about and they're gonna be kicking in, we're gonna get more money than we planned and yay, but I don't feel good about that. As a payer.
Right.
I didn't realize this data was so old.
Yeah. Not to throw another potential, issue at this, but and this isn't an issue, but it's more of a question just to think about. We don't need an answer right now, but there are a lot of properties that have a very minimal amount of impervious area. For instance, like I have a coworker who lives in Lunenburg, and so she was curious about, she technically has two parcels, one that's on the opposite side of the roadway from the water, and so she has water access on the other side. And somehow that parcel doesn't have impervious area, but is mapped as having 2 square feet of impervious area. I don't want to make people in that situation subject to a second fee, even if it's only that tier 1 fee, which is what it would be. So I'm wondering if there's some square footage cutoff that you guys would consider, like 100 square feet, 200 square feet. I actually have where I put it right here. This is kind of what I was looking at. So if there's like 100 square foot cutoff, there are 80 properties that are subject to that. And so it would remove about $4,800 from that schedule. So this isn't, like I said, this is not something we need an answer to right now, but just thinking forward and trying to make a plan. Just in my mind, it makes sense to make some sort of cutoff so you don't have people kind of up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think I know properties like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
well, you have one? Well, you have to pay. You paid 5 times as much.
I have one property with like no impervious area, then one property that's all impervious
It
area.
might be on that list.
Yeah.
Because like Townsend Hart, do they get, you know how it's split?
Mhm.
The road goes through, like they have the house and then they have waterfront. A lot of people have decks, bocce courts and whatnot. Do they get is that 2 separate parcels? Like they get 2 tax bills? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Yes,
know.
according to my colleague, yes.
I mean, I could easily find out, I'll ask.
Yeah. Well, she's saying yes, they must.
Is it Townsend Harbor
I
Road?
think it probably depends on the property.
It does, yeah. Cause I know
Yeah, like
I know
Sean,
one
but-
person, they had with the whole tax debacle thing, the properties were reversed. They had his house on the property that was waterfront, and the beachfront was, yeah, it was swapped on the property card. So I think that, and the other thing I've heard from people is, and Tim, you probably know, with people who, what's the rule? If you build on an acre or something, you have to have some stormwater management or stormwater mitigation plan.
I don't remember exactly the acreage, but yes.
There's
Yeah.
there's something,
Disturb an acre.
okay,
Yeah.
so someone who builds and they have to put in all these mitigation and it costs money.
Yeah.
So they have, like, they're not contributing anything. Why do they have to pay on top of that?
Sure.
And if John were here, he'd say, well, cause they drive on the roads. And then the counter to that is, well, that's what chapter 90 is for. So this is the kind of stuff that,
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't wanna be completely dependent and on chapter 90.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Cause we can't
Right.
control it. We can't predict it. Yeah.
Right. And we might need it for paving, especially after this year's budget. If that continues, I'm gonna need it for paving.
I've heard stories about them being, yeah, budget. Um. So if you were at, so Bill proposed moving the project money to chapter 90. Knowing that that's like a risky investment, right?
Indoor capital, which is risky
Yeah.
too.
Okay, sure, capital.
Mm.
Is that the one that you would put in a risky? Of your line item on your budget? Is that the line item that you're most comfortable putting on a risky budget? This, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Cause
Yeah.
it's a lot of money,
yeah,
but you can't put personnel, you can't risk,
no, you gotta respond to
Right.
emergencies and the calls every day.
um,
Oh, I think she dropped. Oh, no.
maintenance.
Sarah, you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh.
Something else dropped. Our connection to our TV dropped.
Yeah, it was just
Oh.
us.
Yeah, but it looks like she froze on the
Yeah.
TV, now it's, yeah.
Okay. That's weird. Yeah, so. Right, dropping the big projects, the utility just more or less concentrates on MS4 permit requirements. But I
Equipment,
still have,
stuff, yeah,
equipment, staff, in hiring contractors to do the work,
yeah.
the maintenance type work. Part of the budget was engineering. I could still design projects.
I think the TV this is new, airtime.
Yeah, why is it not working? That's
Looking
strange.
for a conference room, I don't know.
Is that like your screen share?
Yeah, is it up there
Is
now?
there a dongle that it's on?
No,
or something?
it's Wi-Fi.
Oh.
It
It's
says
not up there.
connecting, I don't know. Who knows?
Um,
I don't know, on my side it says connecting, but usually it's real quick.
If something's happening.
Oh, focus.
No.
I stopped it.
Oh.
Mhm.
I think that's probably what was happening when you stopped it. Oh, maybe. Try it again.
I did,
There we
Oh,
go.
there
Something's
it is.
happening.
Yep.
You did it.
yeah.
so what kind of projects would be culverts?
You can minimize the thinking
Do you want me to
about.
stop sharing my screen? I don't know if that's still.
There you
But
go.
we're good.
Okay.
Well, project would be like replacing a culvert or a length of pipe or something, or creating a stormwater BMP,
What were the big projects you were envisioning for the project? Like,
Yeah, so I have like 3 of them to sign now. I have, a, a property on Hemlock that has a pipe, has a catch basin at the road and the pipe runs through the property. The pipe is junk and it is getting water everywhere. So I got that one. I got one on Reservoir Road. Property gets flooded, so we'll be putting in a couple of catch basins and some pipes to stop that. And what's the third one? Oh, another Laurel Lane and another area that's just a low area. It floods, so we got some catch basins and BMPs going in there. So those are designed. I could use Chapter 90 money for it.
These are all eligible for Chapter 90, right? The types of projects you're
They are.
okay, so they would be eligible, fall under either.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm envisioning for that 300,000 project money.
Yeah, one big and 2 small, you said, yeah, a year.
Yeah, as a guess.
Yeah.
Right? So like this year we paved Mulpus Road. We replaced a whole bunch
Yeah.
of pipes. So I did it with my crew. We kept the cost way down. We did bring in a contractor for some of it, but so that'd be like a small project.
okay.
So you're saying 3 new hires
Yes.
based on this?
Yep.
Continuing down the list of questions we had, do you know in previous work that you lot have done for towns, how or who did the advertising? Like, were you guys involved in that?
I personally have not worked with another town
Okay.
to actually get utility implemented. We've done some drafting, kind of like we've done for you guys, but I haven't gotten to that point just yet. So I'm not. I think Nick has previously, but that's a question for him, honestly.
Okay, fair enough.
Sarah, do you know, you may not, but do you know what towns CEI has worked with on stormwater, actually successfully having a stormwater utility?
Yeah, I personally have worked with Andover. And then I there was another one. We get them kind of sporadically. Like I think the first one we worked with a town on was like in 2012 or something. It was a long time ago, so obviously things have changed a bit. And this is not like a very frequent thing that we've seen. We're seeing it a little bit more, but that's all the information that I have, honestly.
Did Andover, were they successful in getting it?
They haven't gone through with it. We're just
Okay.
still in the drafting phase, yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to look at some examples of how towns have educated and
Yeah.
publicized this.
Mm.
Um, okay. We may not be ready for any updates this fall.
Yeah.
So
Fast.
I'll go back to our GIS specialist, see what else we can possibly do to rectify any of the parcel data, specifically large developments of commercial, industrial, et cetera, since 2016. If you potentially have, want to talk to the assessor and try so we can cross-reference things, or I can reach out to them either way. We can try to go from there. I think we have a good idea, unless we want to change the whole ERU and fee structure. But regardless, I think we have a good idea of how to calculate all of this, how to categorize each of the parcels. So, you know, if we can kind of get this parcel data to a better point, in the next month or so, we might be able to help you guys get this out this fall.
Okay. So a thought just occurred to me, if we do start splitting up some of, like, let's say we split up tier number 9, instead of everybody who's in tier 9 paying the maximum amount, you've now created your lower half of that tier is going to be paying less than the upper half of what we currently have in tier 9, which would reduce the overall revenue from that tier, or those 2 tiers now.
Right.
So that we'll have to figure out if that's a useful option. I think the thing we still want to do, and anybody can interject if I'm out of line here, is we do still want to expand upper tiers beyond tier 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
especially learning that's 19 acres.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's in its own category by itself.
Okay. Okay. So what I have here currently as the things we are looking to, or we need updated parcel data. We need updated impervious area calculations for larger properties, and we need information regarding higher tiers beyond tier 10.
Can I just, sorry, do a quick interjection?
Please.
So that 19 acres, I was just double checking. I didn't want to speak too soon, but that technically would only be 197-ish. I think maybe it's 199, because I don't have the exact acreage on me. But yeah, so it doesn't actually get over that 200 ERU. So that 200 is a different parcel.
Hang on, sorry. I thought the thing we were looking at, the maximum, the tier 10 capped out at like 210,000 square feet. The 19 acre one should be something like 800,000 square feet.
Yeah, 210,000 square feet was like 5 acres, just under 5 acres.
Something like
is what we calculated.
Let
But
me,
Jenny's gonna do the math.
How many square feet is an acre again?
43.
yeah, so yeah, that was also the
43,560?
previous tier system. So
Oh,
that
no.
was
Is
for
it 43,560?
Yeah.
And it's 30.265 acres on that 475.
Now you guys gonna make me Google. How many square feet in an acre?
1 acre is 43,560 square feet.
Bill's right.
Yeah,
So it's 1 million. Well, the full acreage of the land area on this one is 30.265. The
Right.
vast majority of this,
Yeah,
Is
so they
impervious.
calculated the impervious area is 19 acres.
yeah, I would say it's more than that. Because the parking lot is all around it and it's the building.
yeah, there's very little
Yeah,
impervious on that property.
so it's probably
But it's
more.
definitely graded in 200,000 square feet. The building itself is 300 square feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
300,000.
all
Yeah,
right.
that
I don't think we should spin our wheels until we have the data. Because
What's our plan for getting updated parcel data? Do we want to do that through the Board of Assessors, or
Yeah.
we'll
Reach
do
out
that?
to the assessor's
Okay.
office. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And then
But-
impervious areas for larger properties and redesigning a higher tier system will be CEI's responsibility. Okay, great.
But we do need a list from CEI, because we will because the assessor won't have impervious area information. They'll just have parcels.
Right.
So we
Right, we're
need to,
looking for anything 2016 newer, right?
yeah. So we need, because I don't even know if this spreadsheet, it's dated 2024, so that's probably, I'm not looking at that anymore.
Mhm.
So we need it an updated spreadsheet from
I
CEI.
can send you the updated parcel
Okay.
information.
And then we can kind of do a Excel magic to match them and see which ones we get from the board of assessors, yeah. Hopefully that's not too hard for Linda to pull up. Or Vision or whoever's doing
Yeah.
That's everything I had written down as far as questions and additional questions I have about the email we received. Does anybody else have anything in particular they wanted to go over?
it. You had a question on road.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much road do you
Yeah.
have in town?
Right. There was, good, Sarah, but the roads really don't factor into any of this.
No, but
The
it helps
roads-
to educate the public of what we have to maintain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that the town has this much impervious compared to.
yeah, I'm just pulling up my spreadsheet. Um, there are, let's see. There's 7 parcels that are identified as rights of way with a total of, let me tell you, well, do you want to hear in acres, probably not square feet, with a total of 580 acres. That largest one makes up the large majority, 565 acres. This is not something that I can like easily look at on, or I personally don't have access on GIS to look at that. Our GIS specialist might be able to like see what streets are included in all of that, but I don't know mileage of that. I don't know how we would calculate that, other than getting a rough estimate based on the average width of the road.
Because you had a number last time.
Right. Right, so Sarah, we had a pavement management plan done and they scanned the roads with LiDAR. So I should have pretty accurate lengths and widths, right?
Okay.
And so that I've calculated it out to be the town-owned roads to be 238 acres. But then there's the state-owned road, and then there's a bunch of private roads.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I think you had it at what, 383 acres of roadway? So 100 acres different. The difference seemed high.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So actually, I don't know where that 300, 380, I forget what you said, number came from. I'm looking at the new data and that's not in this, so I'm not sure if it's lumped into that 565 that I had mentioned. It, I'm regardless, I don't know. Maybe you guys want to handle this differently than how I figured, but I took out every right of way. I only have 2 private rights of way listed on this parcel data that are less than 3 acres. I don't know how you want to handle that because we also don't have any owner information on those regardless. So we have no one to bill.
Yeah, so private
we weren't
roads.
gonna
aren't
bill.
Owned by anybody, right? They're kind of owned by the
Yeah, so
whole.
We weren't gonna
Yeah.
bill based on roads.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
But
and
it
then
was
same
just
thing.
to understand. But
Yeah.
I don't even know why we got that number, but it was so far off from your number
right.
that it raised questions.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know because this is, I mean, I'm just pulling this directly from the most recent data. I'd have to go back to the old information and also see where Nick pulled that from, to get that 380 number. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at a lot more than that at this point on this data. So again, I don't,
It's only one. It's not gonna be that big of a difference, I don't think.
do you have the information for the state roads? You said,
It's just Route 2A.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It's just,
So
Yeah,
13
I
is
can
the
ask,
stuff.
that's what.
let me see.
I need a screen that big.
Huh?
I need a screen.
Let's see, I can do that.
It's getting hard.
And so, it's not that much heavier. Those are nice though.
I'd have to ask our GIS specialist for kind of like a map of all of the roadways that are included in each of these right-of-way parcels. I, like I said, I can't look at that. The maps that I have access to won't show me an outline of it. So if that's something you'd like me to ask him, I can certainly do that.
You guys think we need? I don't think we need it. Like a lot of the private roads are fire roads that are pervious. They're not paved,
Yeah.
Right, the gravel, yeah.
and we're not going to charge based on road.
No.
It's just I have like how much you have to maintain.
Right, and I have that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sarah, are you up to speed on the BMP you're designing for the library?
No, that's not my project.
Okay.
I think Nick is working on that with another engineer.
Right, that's what I thought, but you're here, so I asked.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know work kind of gets spread about with just depending on people's availabilities and specialties, but I'm guessing Noah is working on that. He's more of a design engineer.
Yeah,
But if you have any questions that you want me to relay to Nick, I can certainly do that.
So what's the timing you think, Sarah, for getting the updated data to us, like a spreadsheet, I guess?
Do you just want the parcel data for right now to cross-reference it, or do you want us to do any updates before that?
I think we want this memo totally revised, right?
Yeah, but also the spreadsheet of all the parcels in impervious area.
Right.
That's behind those tables,
Right,
right?
yes.
With the address and
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, I mean, I can send you that right now. I can send you the spreadsheet right now if you want it.
And
but
then, yeah, updating that document.
yeah,
Now, there's some of the tables can't be updated because we haven't decided on the tier structure, but
yeah. I mean, if you want an updated draft memo, with the tentative most current information, we can have that to
yeah.
you in the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we don't have the parcel data that we are comfortable with just yet, obviously things will change.
And the spreadsheet you'll send us is corrected as best you can of the current impervious status, like the ones
Yeah,
that you were. Okay,
so
you
I'm
curated
gonna
it.
so I have one spreadsheet that has like all of my notes on it that I've updated. So I'm gonna have to, so I don't confuse you with a billion tabs that I have open. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna convert that over to another spreadsheet. So I'll get it to you. I can get it to you tomorrow though.
Okay. What is you consider your current final curated best you can data?
In terms of like the tier information or like the
In
percent
terms of
done.
the most up-to-date parcels and where you have checked for impervious area if it's changed since what's in the database.
Yeah, so I kind of went through what I've done earlier with in terms of those three properties that you guys had pointed out. We did those. We updated those. I updated all the condos and apartments and mobile home complexes that I could find that were zoned. I keep saying zoned, I don't mean zoned. I mean, they were categorized with a different land use than they should be. So they weren't falling into the right ERU category. And so those have been updated. I've found something else that I changed was some of those other large condo complexes that were correctly notified as commercial properties. They list like every single address that they have. So they have hundreds of addresses, and they had them all with the same large impervious area as the entire parcel. So I removed those and just put it as the one commercial property, and then the condo complex office can divvy up. We can either do it that way, or we can keep all of the addresses and put them each as their own residential.
It makes the most sense to me to issue it to like
The owner.
this, the HOA or the owner or the.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Okay.
Can we also get the slides that you showed tonight?
Yep, I can send that
Thanks.
tomorrow as well. Yeah. But I'll create like a nice, neat, well, as neat as it can be with the amount of information that the parcel data has. I mean, I can eliminate a lot of the columns if you'd like, because it has the like property or the like assessed value and etc. of the properties. If you don't want to be bogged down with some of that information, I can eliminate that.
I mean, we could also delete. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to delete for us to delete it too.
Right. Okay. All right.
I want to get like your current understanding, as best you can right now. So that's what we cross-reference with whatever we get from the assessor's office.
Yeah. So this is, I think, what I'll send you tomorrow is everything that we can do within reason right now, without further doing things like basically parcel by parcel.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Board of Assessors is meeting on the 13th.
And sorry, just trying to plan out our next meeting. Do you have kind of an estimate on when you would be able to provide us with the new impervious area calculations and an updated tier structure?
I think that's going to be dependent on the number of parcels that we need to update. If it's a couple dozen, then that can be done pretty simply in a day or two. But if it's hundreds, then that's going to, obviously take a couple weeks. So I guess it just comes down to the assessors.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in terms of the fee schedule or the whole fee schedule and the tier system, we'll obviously want to base it off of what comes of all of that. And then if you guys want to just change the fee schedule from the ERU, keep that 4,200 square foot calculation, but change the tiers to just be like a flat fee per tier as opposed to a calculation from the ERU. That's easy enough to do. We can certainly do that. But that'll just be another conversation. I mean, very easy email for that should be easy email for that even. So.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to address at this point? I think we've covered a lot of the ground of what we were looking at last meeting.
Apologize, I didn't realize I was in the dark. Not very dark.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nothing, I can't think of anything else.
sure. All right.
At least not for Sarah.
Yeah,
I don't want to keep her any longer than we need to.
yeah. Thank you for your assistance in this, Sarah.
Yes. Sorry, it's not better news,
No,
but
no, it's the news that it is, so
yeah.
that's all we can work with. Um, all right, well, please keep us updated when you guys have that information, and we will come back to you as we get it with any questions.
Perfect. Yeah. And if you want our help trying to reference things, just let me know.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Have a good night.
You
Thanks.
too. Um, okay, just a kind of housekeeping thought for this. Do we just determine when our next meeting is going to be based upon when we get any of this information back? Because if it takes 2 weeks for us to get the information back, or 3 weeks to get the information back, we've got nothing to discuss next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Okay.
need,
I mean, the
Sarah's very
plan was to have
non-committal.
another meeting in August, and I don't think that's gonna
No.
happen.
No,
I don't
not
think
unless
we'll
we
have
get this
anything.
stuff back
Yeah.
next week.
This is
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and the plan is to have them
disappointing.
help us present at the fall meeting?
I think so.
Okay. Because they are not great at answering questions.
I know.
So I feel like that's not gonna be super confidence inspiring.
I'm trying to figure out how we present this. It's,
I mean,
yeah,
we had the basic idea of like the structure of how we wanted to present this. It's just that all the data that we put into this structure is currently unusable. Um, so I don't necessarily think our methodology changes. We're just stuck in place until we have new
That was
data.
from March.
Mm.
There were mistakes in March.
So we don't necessarily need the exact number of parcels to figure out our tiers.
Sure.
We could figure out tiers that seem fair.
Yeah.
But we
Without
need
the
the impervious
parcels.
area to know how many tiers, right?
Not
Well,
necessarily.
not necessarily, because we could use, I mean, we could kind of base it off something like that. You
We know
but
we're
to add
probably
more-
shooting up to about 800,000. Like, there's probably not
What
a
is
million
the-
square foot parcel out there.
There, the Lunenburg,
Was it?
yeah, it was over
Oh.
1 million, but less than 1 million of, it was less than 1 million of impervious, probably like 850,000.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, that's what I was thinking.
And then what is Walmart and impervious? They've got to be more than that
they were.
warehouse. And obviously not Walmart, that whole strip. Garage.
Yeah.
Was that the whole complex or just?
Oh, right, I have
I
minutes.
think it's
The whole
the landowner would be the,
And then that one with the big sheets, so it was, area rounded was 202 for Walmart.
102,000?
No. This one, I just have to print that, so,
Oh, yeah, I have this in my email, but
yeah,
Walmart,
Walmart strip, it's 202 ERU rounded. I don't know what that means, but
well, an ERU is 4,200 square feet, is that what
Yeah.
you said? Which one is Walmart? Oh, yeah, 301 Mass Ave, large corporation. So 202 times 4,200. That seems low.
Yeah, because
I am viewing
850?
all of this with
A very
a lot of skepticism.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's tough when you ask who they've helped before. And again, there's not a lot of towns that have implemented a stormwater utility, so it's not like anyone's gonna be a super expert on
well,
this.
when she came back with, we helped Andover. And you asked, does Andover, have they done it? No, not yet.
Still in draft.
Yeah.
It's still in
I
draft.
can't find
And she
anything.
said they did that back in, what, 2013 or something, they started?
Oh, there's nothing on their website
Yeah,
about it. And there's nothing on their website in Andover about
so,
the utility. So it's just in talks at this point.
So I'll pose the question. Do we need this? Do we need the utility?
We need the utility or the,
that's a good
or
question.
both.
Do we need the utility?
I think we do.
I think we do.
In addition to chapter, mostly to fund, or do you need increased operating budget to grow your staff? Because you can do that without utility.
Is Renee disbanding us?
Correct.
Is what?
Disbanding us right now.
No, I'm just,
Yeah.
hey,
No, she's right. Can this be covered by expanding DPW budget?
Yes.
But one of the issues we had before is that because it's not dedicated staff and dedicated equipment, it's not necessarily guaranteed to do the stormwater job that we need it to.
Right, so
Yeah.
I would need money for staff and money for hiring contracts,
Right.
contracts.
This is, where is this? Concord.
yeah, I don't think it's in place yet. I'm not sure.
So Millis.
They had a whole
really good.
public outreach.
Yeah. And they probably used somebody good. But also Millis has a good site. And then, oh, Chelmsford is good and Shrewsbury is really good,
Oh, they have an abatement application.
which we don't want to do.
Ugh. That's what it looks like. They have it in place. Last year, 2024.
But this is Concord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is recent. Who did it?
Oh, well, we could reach out to other towns and ask them.
Here's examples: Wellesley, Dedham, Bellingham, Shrewsbury.
And Chelmsford too.
This is I'm telling you, the website is really good.
Yeah, so there was one town, I think I still have it up. They call it a stormwater and flood control utility, which I think is good marketing.
Because the question I asked is going to be asked.
Yeah, Northampton. And they've had it since like 2013 or 2014.
Well, if you're gonna put it in.
The operating
operational
budget, then it's all on taxpayers.
Right,
No, it's based on the assessed value of your property because it's just coming from property tax. Operating budget, right? Like everything else comes from.
right.
Not make a difference. I'm just thinking out loud. This is not gonna be an easy sell.
No.
Particularly with the climate.
Well, unless we get another rainy September. You know, I feel like we're not that far out from 11 inches of rain
Yeah.
in a couple hours. So,
But
something like that happens again.
if Bill had a bigger operating budget, that he could dedicate a portion to doing this work. It eliminates an extra overhead of the billing, adding it on
Right,
to the property tax bill. We have to be able to answer that question.
I mean, if you look at what you have budgeted out for this, what, if it was rolled into your normal operations, what would actually be the total there? Like, what could you eliminate? Like, what's,
Let's look at the spreadsheet, so.
you know, like what's not necessary, like office supplies, for instance. Yeah, that kind of thing, accounting.
So
That is.
What's redundant stuff? What's redundant stuff, you know?
The indirect costs,
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
category, that was like 10,000 total.
yeah, that was 10,000 total, but
Yeah, I
then
know, right?
That's
So,
indirect stuff.
so new equipment purchases now would have to go to,
That's
capital.
that's going anyway, that's coming out after the
Right.
first year, right?
right, it would have to go to capital, then a new person.
Or chapter 90,
Depends,
can't that
Maybe.
pay for equipment? That
some,
could,
it depends on the equipment.
okay.
So, yeah, would I need a new admin? No. But I need a new stormwater equipment operator, yes, the GIS engineer, yes,
Yeah,
so no admin, so
okay, so
fringe
why,
benefits would go down a little bit.
why with the stormwater utility do you need a new admin, but if it's part of operations, you don't?
Cause I already have an admin. Pay the bills. But if we have a utility, now you need somebody to produce the bills, right?
Well, it's going on,
And I can't add
Property
that on
tax.
to my admin now,
it's going on to a property tax. That, right?
right?
It's not like a use bill, like, oh, you use so much
Right.
water, this is your bill this month, it's a fix. That gets,
Yeah, but somehow it's gonna get worked into Munis, somebody has to put it in there, somebody has to administer that.
yeah,
I can't add that on to my staff now, my staff's already overloaded. The vendors, that's gonna stay, right? That needs to be done. Projects, we said we can do chapter 90, so the indirect costs will go away, yeah.
the insurance would?
Yeah.
What, why would the
Well,
insurance
it's already,
go
because it's
away?
already,
he's already.
well, I'm
got-
already paying those indirect costs. Well, the town does, right?
That would. But you would still have that increase in your operating budget, right? If you hired this additional staff,
No, no, because we'd be an enterprise, right? We're
Yeah.
supposed to be self-sufficient,
also the
right?
town,
So the accounting has to do, right? They get all the bills coming in, they're
Yeah,
doing that work,
I'm
right?
just looking at the
They're
insurance.
putting that into Munis. So that's outside the enterprise, so I gotta pay them to do that.
So there's over. This is the overhead associated with utility.
Yeah. Right. And then expenses, well, still in the engineering, office space will go away. Right, most it's legal counsel, and it's already in my budget, I might have to. Go up on my budget a little bit.
You're still gonna have those expenses because you're gonna increase staff and there's gonna be
Right.
more work.
Yeah, it would be less than this, I'd say, but.
It'll probably still be pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just trying to figure out what the difference.
yes, so,
the risk is if it's in your operating, it can be cut.
yep,
That's
Or-
what I see as the biggest
this
risk.
is a big jump. Right? If we put it in the operation budget. Is it gonna get approved? Considering my budget was slashed this year.
I know that, well, that's the thing, that's the
Right.
risk of
Yeah.
putting it in an operating
Yeah.
budget. So that's what the answer is, right? So this is work that has to get done
Mhm.
and I don't know what the right word is,
Well,
the
it has to get
safest,
done first.
consistent, most reliable way of funding and making sure this work gets done is
Yeah.
utility.
Right.
Is that right? Is that?
Right.
Yeah, and
Well,
it
phase
has to get
fines,
done.
which I was playing around with that today.
Yeah,
Upwards to $50,000 per day until you fix the problem.
has anyone been fined?
No,
You don't want to be
Cause I
fixed.
know it's scary and it's threatening, but they haven't come through yet.
I don't
But they
know.
could.
Well,
I
actually,
know,
I've heard
I
of
know.
a couple towns, but I don't think,
Well, we should find them for not updating the stupid database.
yeah, yeah. It's the feds.
No, she said it's a statewide thing.
Right, but the fines for.
Oh, the MS4 is
come from
federal?
feds, yeah.
Oh, they might start.
Right,
Wow. Okay, so that's the
that's the answer.
answer to, because it will come up.
Yeah.
Why is
Right,
this
so
just
that would
not an
have, we're allowed
operating?
to put that in.
Because then it's gonna fall into the Prop 2.5.
Yeah, you're gonna have to,
Because that was one of the things, the Prop 2.5 override,
Yeah.
right? How is this? I haven't looked at this, but I'm gonna look at this at some
So it
point.
looks like tie and bond is the,
High and Bond and Ask Jen. Another one is Sampson Weston.
Weston and Sampson.
Yes, that's who she is familiar with in this area.
yeah.
Ty and Bond works with the water district. And I think
They
they
work
did
with
our
everybody.
dam. Yeah, I know, they're huge.
We do a lot of work with them.
I think they did our, on Hickory Hills, the dam. So we had to inspect it and all that update, I don't know. Okay. But I don't know if we have a contract now.
oh, did the new contract get
It's signed.
approved? It's signed, okay.
I don't know what it covers. I mean, obviously MS4, all that,
Right,
So they prepare the MS4 documentation and,
right, the reporting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they did that for us last year. And that went well.
Last 5 years,
is it a 1-year contract?
yes.
And does that cover all of this stormwater utility?
Yeah. the
Stuff
work
at
they
an
do.
extra, like an hourly rate, or is this like a
Yeah, it's all
one
right.
flat rate?
Yeah.
We're not technically tied to them for the stormwater utility stuff.
We don't assign them anything, then, yeah.
But it would cost money to go out. Have to do an RP, maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, engineering, you can pick whoever you want.
Is this considered an engineering?
Yeah,
Yeah. definitely.
tie and bond would be engineering or somebody else.
No, but someone to help and draft and publicize
I
the
think so.
stormwater utility.
Typically, whoever you use is gonna be a civil engineer,
Right,
so. I know some firms have, usually their civil engineers are there, like evangelists. So that's the word.
Okay,
When you say evangelist, I don't picture a civil engineer.
That's what they call it, the people who go out and evangelize, but
All right.
just for
Uh,
stormwater and municipal stuff.
we're stuck again.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Cheer us up,
I
Jenny.
think, I mean, I think that this is necessary. I think that
Mhm.
this is gonna happen in every town in Massachusetts at some point. Maybe not Ashburnham, because they don't have any regulations, it seems like, but other than that, I think most towns in Massachusetts are gonna go this way. And, I think Franklin's about to pass one. Ashland has it. I think they just passed it. And Chelmsford just passed it. So I definitely think it's doable. I think we have to have the right messaging. I think we have to have answers to questions
Yeah.
Mhm.
that shouldn't take months to get, but there's gotta be updated impervious area. That's what I'm looking for, data somewhere that's not from 2016. And you would think that they would be the people who would have access to it.
Yeah.
Or at least disclose that it's from 2016. That's the big thing, is that there should be a
Well-
footnote on that table that says, last known.
It's even worse, I think, because It was just updated last week. Oh, no, she said it was 2016 data loaded to 2017, is
Yeah.
that right?
Mhm.
Which still doesn't match what's in the report,
Right.
the document we got. I don't,
Oh. Something's hinky. You know,
we spent a lot of time looking at that document and trying to understand the numbers and
we shouldn't have to.
Mm.
Somebody
Exactly.
should be able
I
to
should
look
be
at
able to
it, explain
trust.
it to us.
the experts give me, and okay, why do these two tables, the numbers aren't right? Like,
Yeah.
they don't match. They are the same things. It's literally copy paste. Why does it not match?
Right.
Why did you not notice it doesn't match?
Is this from your
Again.
printer? Is that from your printer?
Yeah.
You need to calibrate it.
No, he likes purple. That was intentional.
It's got a little halo.
Yeah. Well, that was the cover of the email.
Um. Should we have a conversation with Jen?
You heard?
Do you have any idea how much it would cost to hire a consultant dedicated to this? Because we are wasting our time, spinning our wheels for months.
Yeah.
It's been how long have I been on this? 2 years? Well, we didn't meet for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So it's about a year and a half.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I joined in May of last year. So,
Also over a year.
yeah.
And I've been like a year and a half. And we're at the same spot.
Well, I didn't miss much.
Welcome aboard.
We're exactly where we were.
I mean, I understand it better, but I can try to talk to Jen if you guys want.
Okay.
Do you want?
The three of us, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her Fridays, she said, are generally pretty open, because that's
Sounds closed.
I'm
That's what I do.
available in the
marketing
morning.
bucks.
I'm
Yeah.
available in the morning.
Let me look. I'm actually working at home tomorrow, so I could pop over. But I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna look at my
I
calendar.
miss working from home.
Yeah, I only
It's
get
home.
3 days.
It's not. I used to go in like a day, but I got so much done in my house and for work when I worked at home. Because
I
Nobody
don't miss
bothered
the
me.
commute. I mean,
That
don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
prefer working from home from working in the office. But I get distracted by home stuff too
Yeah.
much.
see, I could do both, but I would wake
I'm
up
free until 10.
at 6, do some work,
Works for me.
then do some stuff in the house,
Yeah.
take a break, go outside, do some work.
And
Tim, should we vote on the minutes and wrap it up?
I don't think
Sure,
we've
yeah.
got minutes.
I got an email from Danielle, but it did not include the minutes. She said she's completed them, but she had some questions about what was going on, so I don't have minutes for this week.
I'm not
And
crazy.
yeah, no, not crazy.
Well,
Not for
that's
that
all
reason.
done, yeah.
Not for that reason.
do we want to meet again in 2 weeks, or are we gonna wait until we get updated information?
I don't think we'll have anything.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll have anything. I don't think we'll have anything usable.
all right.
So
Then we'll base our next meeting off of when we get useful information.
So do we want to at
Third.
least get something on the books for next month?
Yeah, well,
Just so we can
double check.
plan.
We'll say our usual third Thursday unless,
I won't be here
okay,
the week of the 15th. That's the only. The rest of September is okay.
September, oh my God.
Yeah.
all right, do we want to do the 25th then?
That should work for me.
Yeah.
That's good for me.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah. Oh, September, yeah.
September 25th. If by some crazy miracle, we do get information significantly sooner than that, I will reach around to everybody and see if we want to do an early. Hey, we're not doing fall meeting at this point, are we? Like,
Not looking good.
Something magic. I
Okay.
mean, if we could find a consultant who has done this and already has their whole rigmarole set up and is just
Yeah,
like, this is what you, this, and this is what you do.
There should be
Maybe.
like a board, like steps,
A
like
standard
a whole
operating
map.
procedure or
This
something.
is, here's the roadmap.
Yeah. And that's what it's missing. I don't understand why there's nothing like that.
And they should also be able to get the data.
Yeah.
okay. Well, unless anybody has anything else, I'll take a motion to end the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming.